Hello, everyone. I think we are finally live. Um, and welcome to the AMEE Preparatory webinar for the Student Task Force. I hope you're all as excited as we are. This is going to be, as we call it, short and concise webinar. We are going to be 3 facilitators, but the people behind this presentation are all on your screen. So from IFMSA side, you have me, Katerina, and Basil. From EMSA side, you have Vagelis and Tessa. And we also have Dino, our local coordinator. But don't worry, we will introduce all of them in more detail. So what we're going to cover today is, of course, a basic introduction to the STF, or the Student Task Force. We will use the acronym STF for ease. Then we will introduce AMEE, EMSA, and IFMSA. We'll discuss some of the logistics and the tasks during the conference. We'll mention what the daily schedule is going to be and some things that you have to keep in mind for during the conference, how we are going to communicate from now on, what the tutoring groups are going to be. And don't worry if you have questions about that, they will be answered very, very soon. Some details about the social program, because we're not only going to work, we are going to have fun, we promise. Then we'll discuss the finances, some tips about your participation, and of course, in the end, we'll try to gather all of your questions from the comments and answer them. So if there's anything that we want to cover and anything that will be unclear, please just leave a comment on the channel and we'll make sure to give you a proper, thorough response. But who are the people that have been spamming you with emails and spamming you on Facebook and probably being, I hope, not too annoying? We have 4 international coordinators, 2 for EMSA, 2 for IFMSA, and 1 local coordinator. You'll see these people and I'll let them introduce themselves, but I'm the one bottom right. My name is Katerina. I'm from Greece. I'm IFMSA liaison officer for medical education issues, and I graduated medical school last year, but you can also read my introduction on the Facebook group for more details. And then I'll let Basil introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Basil. I'm from Jordan. I have just graduated medical school a few days ago. I'm currently the NMO president within IFMSA for my NMO, IFMSA Joe. This will be my 3rd AMEE STF and my first as a coordinator. Looking forward to meeting all of you and working with you.
Then we have these 2 lovely people smiling on the top right. One of them is Dino, our local coordinator. He's from Austria. He lives and works in Vienna, and he graduated medical school last year as well. And you have Tessa, which is the EMSA assistant. She's a medical student from the Netherlands, currently in Geneva. And they were both very happy to be together in that photo. And because they're not here, we chose a random one as punishment. And what about you, Vageli?
Hello, everyone. My name is Vagelis. I represent EMSA. I'm from Greece. I'm a doctor now, so I'm working as a general practice doctor. I'm not enjoying myself. And I'm really happy to be working with Katerina, Basiltes, and Dino in this year's AMEE Student Task Force, because it's going to be a really awesome experience for everyone.
Yes, I think we're all very passionate about making this the best student task force that the conference has ever or will ever see. That's a big statement, but we'll try. Now, let's go a bit into the basics for anyone who is not really that into medical education or maybe doesn't know that much about AMEE. So AMEE's name formally stands for an Association for Medical Education in Europe, but it is a lot more than that. It started as that, but it built up to an international association, not only for medical education, but for health professions education in general. It's an organization that develops a lot of tools and a lot of resources that are really relevant to anyone who studies across the spectrum of healthcare services. It was founded back in 1972. It has members in 19 countries across all 5 continents, and you'll notice that in the conference. And the main purpose is to promote excellence in education, not just, again, medical, but health professions education. And they cover all the continuum: undergraduate, postgraduate, what we call CPD, or continuous professional development. I would say they have quite a holistic approach on education. And for anyone who works in any of those healthcare related fields, it's probably the number one source of information and evidence in order to build their personal, portfolio. Now, what are the activities that AMEE does? Wow, we could have a whole webinar just for that, and we actually did. So if you want to know more about the activities that AMEE does, we'll send you afterwards a link to a webinar we did for everyone last year, not just for the student task force, which focused mostly on this part. But the pinnacle of all AMEE activities is the AMEE conference, which happens every year. But they also do a lot of publications. So there's MedEd Publish, an online medical education, or again, health professions education journal, and also Medical Teacher, which is, together with Medical Education, the most important journal in the world on the topic. They also have membership opportunities. So you can join as well as students and become student members, and then get access to a variety of the resources that AMEE has, including the Journal of Medical Teacher. They do a lot of online courses and also face-to-face courses during the conference. An example of these courses is the Essential Skills in Medical Education, and I know that quite a few of the participants of the STF have taken it already. They have MedEd World, which is an online reference point for resources in medical education, which also has a very interesting blog written by Professor Harden. He's the secretary of AMEE. I highly encourage you to look it up. AMEE also gives a lot of awards. You'll notice that during the conference, and they also give out a lot of grants. For example, the student initiative grants that Vagelis and I are coordinating for projects that students do on medical and health professions education. And it's actually active now, so you have one more day to apply if you're interested. But AMEE is very, very passionate as an organization about student involvement. And that's why I think we all enjoy working so much with them and being at the conference and being in the student task force. Now, when we talk about student involvement in AMEE, it's actually quite meaningful. In the AMEE Executive Committee, there are 2 student representatives by EMSA and IFMSA, and we are considered completely equal to every other member of the executive committee, and we have voting rights. We present our reports. We're no different than anyone else, and they really listen to what we have to say, and they take our inputs really into consideration, and they implement new things based on that. The EMSA representative, which this year is Vagelis, is now the MELO, the Medical Education Liaison Officer, and the IFMSA elected representative is the Liaison Officer for Medical Education. Mello and Limi, if that makes it easier. And our 3 main tasks is, of course, to express the student voice and the executive committee, and to make sure that they take us into consideration. On the other side, we do things vice versa. We inform our members and students about what AMEE does and what opportunities AMEE can provide for them. And we also have quite some tasks related to AMEE activities, such as the AMEE Conference Task Force or the student initiative grants that I mentioned before. Now, quickly, some information about EMSA and IFMSA. EMSA is the European Medical Students Association. It has more than 100 faculty members in 30 European countries, and they work in 6 pillars. Of course, one is medical education, but you also have medical science, public health, European integration and culture, human rights and ethics, and European health policy. And if I'm not mistaken, we have the European health policy person with us. So Lina, if you're in the comments, shout out to you. Then when it comes to IFMSA, then it's a bit of a bigger acronym. It stands for International Federation of Medical Students Associations. We have 135 national member organizations in 125 countries. This may be a bit wrong. My memory doesn't serve me right now. And we also have 6 areas of work that are very, very similar to EMSA. Of course, medical education, and then we have public health, human rights and peace, sexual and reproductive health, including HIV and AIDS, professional exchanges, and research exchanges. And we have some of those people with us in the student task force as well. So there will be a lot of opportunities if anyone wants to know more about EMSA and IFMSA during the conference. So talk to them. And I'm almost done. I promise you won't have to hear my voice for too long. The pinnacle, as I mentioned, of all activities is the AMEE conference. It happens once every year. It's always in August, towards the end of August. Sometimes it reaches the beginning of September. Every year we have more than 3,800 participants from all over the world. And when I say all over the world, I really mean it. We get participants from more than 100 countries. There's the main conference, but there's also the pre-conference, which we will also be attending. It lasts for 2 days and it has workshops and courses. It's mostly like capacity building. And the sessions are really, really diverse. Because it's such a big conference, there are so many parallels on so many different areas that you won't believe your eyes when the final program comes out. And it's going to be about 150 pages. That's all I'm going to say. So it's going to take you a while to go through everything. And each year, the conference also has some running themes, which we focus on during the plenaries or which are given some more attention than the other topics that are always covered. This year, of course, we know that the main conference is going to be from the 24th to the 28th. Of course, we're going to be there from the 22nd for reasons that we will also explain. And the main topics this year, you can see them both in the bullets and in the image. The main theme this year is patient as educator. I think it's just going to be fascinating for everyone. Then activity theory and the facilitation of learning. And for anyone who's wondering what activity theory is, it's a new concept in medical education. And we can send you some resources to read more about it. The same applies to threshold concepts. We are also going to have global health as a topic. So very relevant, I think, to all of us in our organizations. Humanities. And in the past years, AMEE has been trying a lot to increase the discussion of surgery education. So they're increasing the number of relevant sessions more and more. So if anyone's interested in surgery, I think there will be a lot for you as well. And I'm passing on to Basil for, I think, the more juicy part.
Um, Hello, guys. It's Basser here. Okay, so we're the AMEE Student Task Force, but what does that mean? What do we do? Okay, first of all, the AMEE Student Task Force is a team this year of 47 international and 24 local members that is coordinated by a team of 5 international and international team of 5 students. Our job is to assist with logistical tasks during the conference, to offer help and to support the AMEE conference to be the success that it is every year. In exchange, we get free attendance to the AMEE conference, and for this year and for the first time ever, 100% financial support for travel and accommodation. As I said, the AMEE Student Task Force is made of 47 international and 24 local members. All of these countries have participants in the AMEE Student Task Force this year, and this is only counting the countries where students are studying. Some students are from other countries studying in different countries, so the real number could be even more. We have participants this year studying in Indonesia, Pakistan, Nepal, India, Jordan, Lebanon, Morocco, Egypt, Austria, of course, Israel, Spain, Greece, Romania, Sudan, Rwanda, South Africa, Nigeria, Canada, Honduras, Brazil, Peru, Jamaica, Nepal, New Zealand, Cambodia, Slovenia, the Netherlands, Hungary, Italy, Poland, Turkey, Switzerland, Russia, Lithuania, and Germany. And I made it a point to actually read out the names of these countries just to give you an idea of how diverse the AMEE Student Task Force really is. Logistics, we are arriving or supposed to arrive on the evening or during the day of Thursday, the 22nd of August. So we're all checking in on the 22nd of August, and we're all checking out and departing on the 29th of August. We have received plenty of questions about this. We know the actual conference starts on the 24th, but our first working day will be on the 23rd. So we will be arriving on the 22nd to be ready to work on the morning of the 23rd. For our accommodation, if you have requested accommodation within the AMEE Student Task Force, you will be placed in A&O Wien Hauptbahnhof Hostel I probably butchered that pronunciation. I don't know any German. I'm sorry. Uh, so this is the name of the hostel. If any of you would like to screenshot or write the name down in case you wanted to book earlier or extra nights after the AMEE conference. We have also received plenty of questions about food. Breakfast and lunch will be in the conference venue, but dinner will be on most nights covered by the social program. Uh, we can tell you it will be covered on almost all nights, but we're still not sure of that. So let's say just for most nights that dinner will be covered by the social program. And that's it for the logistics. Okay, when it comes to the conference, during the conference, what are we as student task force going to do during the conference? On day one, that's the 23rd of August, we'll be doing packing for the conference bags that are distributed to every participant in the conference, including ourselves. So on August 23rd in the morning, we'll head out to the venue uh, for the AMEE 2019, and we will be packing the bags for the conference. Also, during that same day, we'll be having an orientation session because we are supposed to be the guides for everyone around the conference. So we have to know the directions and the in and outs of the conference venue very well. When it comes to tasks during the conference, there are multiple sessions that are happening within AMEE, within the AMEE conference. We'll be responsible for covering those sessions. There are, as you'll soon learn, once the conference schedule comes out, the full schedule for the conference comes out, you'll see that there are tons of parallel sessions, tons of sessions that are happening at the same time. And sometimes you have to make a real difficult decision between attending this session or that session. So one of our first tasks will be covering the sessions. Okay, so what does covering the session mean? That means that we will be assisting the session moderator during the session. He'll be responsible for any logistical task within the session hall and so on. Another task that we are supposed to do as the AMEE Student Task Force is that during lunch we have to direct participants. You can only imagine what happens when it's lunchtime for almost 4,000 people, and at the same time leaving many different conference halls and heading to the lunch area. It could be very chaotic. So we're supposed to be directing those people during lunchtime in and out of their halls. Also, at any time, we will have people assigned to direct people into the conference halls. A lot of people may come asking the STF members, how can I get to this hall or that hall? And we are supposed to know very well how to direct them to reach their destination. Another task that we're going to be doing during the conference is posters. As you know, during the AMEE conference, there are a lot of posters being presented. As STF members, we will help the presenters with their posters. Some people assigned will be helping the presenters hang up their posters. Some people will help direct them to where their posters should be hanged, to where the area that they're going to present will be, and so on. Other people will be during the presentation. So for each region in the posters presentation will be a specific time for presentation. We'll have SCF members designated to be coordinating that poster presentation along with the moderator of the poster presentation. Another task is the STF desk, the Student Task Force desk. It is basically a desk that is set up in the middle of the venue where participants can come up to you and ask you questions, where we also have a lost and found desk. Usually anyone that finds something or loses something will come up to this desk and ask questions. and so on. So again, it's very important to know everything around the venue of the AMEE 2019 conference. And last of all, you will get to attend these conference sessions. We'll talk more about that coming up, but you will get to attend the conference. This is the biggest medical education conference that happens globally. So it is a privilege that must not be taken lightly that we are attending this conference. We should learn as much as we can from it. We should network with people that could be very meaningful and important for the advancing of medical education in your country or for your career, your personal career. And last but not least, we are going to have a blast during the AMEE conference and most importantly, during the social program. We have a few pictures for the tasks during the conference. The picture on the left is for a regular conference session. The picture on the right is from the assembly lineup of backpacking that we made last year to finish 4,000 conference bags in a few hours. We have more pictures on the left. This is the student task force desk from the AMEE 2016. And this will have at all times different STF members assigned to this desk to perform the tasks. And on the right, we have an STF member, again from 2016, directing participants to the venue, to the plenary hall, which is usually a hall that is attended by which is usually a session that's attended by everyone attending the conference. That is around 4,000 people. So again, the magnitude of this conference is just huge. Okay, now about attending the event itself. We will have, let's say, 4 corners or 4 pillars for different forces fighting or 4 different components when we're attending the AMEE STF conference. First of all, we have the assigned tasks according to the schedule. We will share the schedule well ahead of the AMEE conference for all STF members. You will see what tasks are assigned to. We will explain all of these on the first day and during every day during the conference. So that's the first corner. You have your assigned tasks that you have to perform and do during the AMEE STF during the AMEE conference. And the second thing that the second force during the AMEE conference is your sessions of interest. Again, this is the biggest medical education conference happening in the world. If you are interested in medical education, you are bound to be interested in some of the sessions that are going on. So the assigned task schedule will probably take up 50% of your time during the AMEE conference. The other half of your time could be invested in attending the sessions that really interest you. And when it comes to sessions of interest, we will share as soon as the conference schedule, the full schedule comes out, we will be sharing the Google form where you can select which conference sessions you would like to attend, and it's on a first come first served basis. So it will be really good that you are assigned a task at a session that you also consider it a session of interest to you, a topic that you're very interested in. So make sure that we will send the schedule ahead of the time that we will send the form to sign up for these sessions. So please make sure that as soon as the full conference schedule is shared, that you do look at it, you do decide what sessions you'll be attending, you write them down, so that as soon as the Google form comes up for you to sign up for these sessions, that you do sign up for them, because again, it's on a first come, first served basis. The third component of the AMEE STF work will be briefs and debriefs. Every morning, we will be having a brief to talk about what happens during the day in the AMEE conference. What are our tasks? What events are we expecting today? Things to watch out for, feedback on things that happened on the day before and how to improve on them during that day. And again, at the end of the every day, we'll be having debriefs to talk about everything that happened during that day. We will get feedback from every single member of the AMEE student task force on how to improve the work for the next day, things they thought worked very well and that we should continue doing them the way they are, things that they think should be improved and worked on for the next day. And last but not least, uh, again, as I described, you have 50% time assigned to sessions, and the other 50% of your time, you're free to do whatever you want. We really think you should attend the sessions of interest because, again, there's a lot to do and see at the AMEE conference, but you can choose to take the time free or to rest or to work on something else, but we highly discourage that. Last but not least, for the communication, again, as you've seen throughout the process, you can always reach out to us through email on the for the AMEE STF email or to the Google group. You can send an email to be shared with everyone with the AMEE STF. Again, for the communication, we as the coordinators will be sending emails to the Google group. That's AMEE-STF 2019 at googlegroups.com. We think everyone is already part of that Google group, but if you're not, please do tell us so we can add you as soon as possible. For informal communication, we'll be having, we currently have the Facebook group. Please do not forget to introduce yourself if you already have not introduced yourself on the Facebook group. There's a punishment for the last person to introduce themselves. You don't want to be that person. And we also will have the tutoring groups that we will talk about further later in this presentation. We also have 4 STF members that have not yet joined the Facebook group. So please, if you're not already in the AMEE Student Task Force Facebook group, please do reach out to us and tell us, and we'll add you to the group immediately. Last but not least, for communication, the communication during the conference will be explained thoroughly on the first day and on every morning briefing. But for now, what we can tell you is that we will have 3 WhatsApp group chats for the AMEE Student Task Force during the AMEE conference. The middle group, the social WhatsApp group, will be the group that we can use just a chat informally for anything during the conference or after the conference. We can make plans for the social program. We can ask questions about anything. We can send jokes, memes, but the work group is the WhatsApp group that is dedicated to the conference work, to the STF work during the conference. On the first day, we will explain to you exactly how the work group works. We have a very specific template for how messages are sent on the work group from members in the session and the sessions to the STF coordinators, so we can actually solve the problems that or perform the tasks that are required during the conference. Again, this group is strictly used for the work that happens during the conference. And for this year, we have a 3rd group, that's the urgent WhatsApp group chat. We've decided to create this group because last year, many of the moderators of the sessions or many of the attendees of the sessions noticed that STF members are on their mobile phones all the time because WhatsApp is our main method of communication in the AMEE conference. They noticed that STF members are on their phones all the time, and they thought that was not a very pleasant sight. So for people that are in the sessions, we have created the urgent WhatsApp group. The urgent WhatsApp group chat is a group where messages will be sent by the coordinators that are very urgent for everyone to know, including the people that are attending the sessions. so that people who are attending the sessions or currently in sessions can mute both the work and the social group, uh, so that they not get disturbed or distracted by these groups, and keep the notifications on for the urgent WhatsApp group, knowing that they will not miss anything urgent and important. I will now hand off the presentation to Vageli, who will explain the tutoring groups and the other components of the AMEE STF work.
So hello from my side as well, and let's move now to the tutoring groups. So the tutoring groups is a concept that has started a while ago in the AMEE Student Task Force, and it's about knowing each other better because we're a very big group of students, so you can't know 70 people before the conference, but you can know at least some of the people before the conference. So this year, after last year's problems that we had with the groups, we have decided to go in a different direction. So we will still have 10 groups of tutoring groups, 10 groups of experienced people and new STF members. So the new STF members will be paired with the experienced members, and the experienced members are 10 now, so it's the perfect number for the groups, excluding us, the coordinators. So was 5. So you will have a tutor who is going to act as your mentor during the preparation for the AMEE Student Task Force. And the coordinators, that means Basil, me, Katerina, Tessa, and Dino, will act as buddies to two tutoring groups. So we will have 2 tutors. The coordinator will be the buddy, and we will meet before the conference in an online meeting and in the WhatsApp group. You will understand more about this process in the coming days. Of course, the experienced people and the newcomers have not been notified in which group they are going to be in. So you will wait for that email during the weekend. You will have an online meeting with your tutoring group. You will set goals about the conference, and you will understand more what goals you need to set and how you can achieve these goals with the guidance of the experienced members. And of course, you will also meet with your tutoring group during the conference and after the conference to make an evaluation. And I think that this will be your comfort zone during the conference before and after, of course. So if you have any question, you will talk with your tutors and they can easily answer since they have the experience from last years. Okay, and then let's move to the fun part now. So the social program. We will try to show the best of Vienna and the best spreads there is. The social program has been prepared by our local coordinator Dino and some other local students from Austria. We will try to be as relaxed as possible because, as you can understand, the days will be very hard. We will have many things to do, so probably we will have a scavenger hunt to get to know the city. We will go to some museums and monuments like the palace and the Ottakringer Brewery. I'm not sure if I pronounce this well. I'm really not sure about it. And then, of course, on the last day, we will have the NFDP. One aspect of the social program is also the first day, the 22nd of August, because we will prepare a really relaxed introductory session for all of us to know each other. So make sure that you don't have something with your voice because you will need to shout out during this session for 70 people to hear you. And I think this was one of my favorite parts last year, so it will also be great this year as well. And of course, the National Food and Drinks Party, you will be responsible to bring your food and drink from your country for the others to taste. And of course, it will not be the regular party where everyone gets drunk because it's on the last day, and I think that we will all be sad to be leaving Vienna. Okay, and now let's also move to another important thing of the AMEE Student Task Force. It's all about the money, 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 money. Money makes the world go round. So as you have been notified, we will cover the accommodation expenses, and also you will be getting money for your flight tickets. This year, We are very lucky to be having this money because uh, all of your expenses for the flight tickets will be covered, at least if it's not the 100% close to that. So it's really good that we have this money and this support from AMEE because we're making this a reality to travel from your countries to Vienna, no matter how far you are. And of course, if you have any question about the money, just let us know. We have notified you about the final amount of the money that you're getting. And of course, the reimbursement for the flight, you will be getting this in an envelope in cash in the last day of the conference because we need to make sure that you completely live up to your tasks. Okay, and then let's move to some tips that you need to know before you come to Vienna and join the student task force. So, one very important tip is that you need to prepare well. Make sure that you read the final program of the AMEE conference. Make sure that you don't are not coming to Vienna with any question about the student task force. And of course, there are many people to answer your questions. So just say so in any of the communication platforms that we have set up for you. We really want you to come prepared in Vienna because that will make things easier for you and that will also help you get out the most out of the conference. So make sure that you interact with people as well. Make sure that you network during the conference because it's a conference that hosts more than 4,000 people. So as you can understand, many important stakeholders in medical education are there, and many important people from your country as well, and people that are working in medical education. So if you search in the conference program, you can also search for some people from your country and from your own university, and you can easily go to their sessions and learn about what they're doing and tell them, hey, I'm a student from Brazil, for example, and I'm also working on medical education. How can we work each other? And I'm really sure that everyone will be enthusiastic to hear about students traveling from so far away to Vienna to join the AMEE conference and to see all this enthusiasm about medical education. Make sure that you participate in all of the parts of the conference and make sure that you speak up to tell about your opinion, to tell about your country's problems, to tell about your country's achievements. So it's also really important. Connect with your locals, as I said. Of course, many people from your countries, professors, educators, students, deans, and whoever else will be in that conference because it's one of the bigger in the world. Ask everything you need. We will all be there, all the coordinators, all the tutors. So make sure that during the conference, if you have any question, just approach us and tell us about this. And of course, we will be there to help you and get the most out of the sessions. This conference, our participation in the AMEE conference is not about only providing our help during the conference, but also getting to know more about medical education, and be inspired and come back with our countries with the purpose to change our medical education systems. And of course, some important things before you leave this webinar is that you don't forget to send us your proof of travel and visa by 1st of July. This deadline is really strict and we really ask of you to respect it because it will make things easier for you, for us as well. We have 70 people to coordinate, so as you can understand, our inbox is getting a lot of emails and we don't want to chase you to book your flight tickets. Make sure that if there's any problem, if you don't feel comfortable with something, or if you have any question, make sure that you contact us. We're really friendly people, so and most of you will know someone from the student task force. So just send an email, send a message to any of the platforms, and we will be there for you. And of course, participate in the tutoring groups because the tutoring group's success is based on all of you individually. Next slide. Okay, and now we see a picture of last year's student task force with our STF t-shirts. in the last plenary of the AMEE conference in Basel. This will be you in about 4 months from now. So now, if you have any question, we want you to write it in the chat, right next to it, and we will make sure to answer it.
I don't
Okay,
know.
yes, we have a question.
Yes. That was
Yes,
I was
you can
that's what
go,
I was going
Katerina.
to No, that's what I was going to ask because I can't see. So if you guys
Okay,
can
we
read out the
already
questions, yeah.
Yes,
we
we
already
have one question, one from Adonis now. As I see, I will read it and try to answer to that. So how can we get involved in a discussion during the session that we're covering? This is very easy because you will be there to assist the facilitator with the session, but you will also be there as a participant. So if sometimes the student involvement is really encouraged, and if they want the opinion of the student, they know who the student in the room is because of your STF t-shirt, so they can ask you. But of course, being there as an STF member does not mean that you're not there as a participant and you cannot talk. You're just like the other participants with one extra task.
Okay, we have another question from Sima. She's asking what color are this year's t-shirts. That's usually one of the secrets we keep until the conference, but we will be sharing the survival kit for the AMEE STF very soon. In that survival kit, we'll have hints on what to pack and what exactly to prepare to be wearing during the conference and so on. So, for example, if it's a color that goes well with dark colors, we'll be telling you bring the dark pants, dark trousers. If it's a color that works very well with light colors, we'll be telling you that as well. Every member of the student task force will be getting 2 t-shirts during the conference so that you can wear one and have one cleaned or just rest one of the 2 shirts. But we're leaving that information until we share the survival kit.
Okay, then the next question is from Lina, and I think Katerina can answer it. So Lina is asking, if we're presenting something, how do we make sure that these sessions do not lay in their free time?
You mean how I got a bit confused, but in
Okay, let me send you the question.
but in general, when the final program of the conference comes out, we send you a form to fill in your preferences. But in that form, we also ask you to tell us exactly what time you're going to be presenting. So we will make sure that during that time where you're presenting, we don't give you any other task. So you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to coincide with anything. But I'm not sure what you mean by the free time, because in general, the free time is not the same for everyone. Like one person might not have a session from 10 to 12 and another person might not have a session from 3 to 5, for example. I'm not sure. Okay. So I think I answered with my first comment. We'll just make sure that it doesn't fall under any other agenda item that you are assigned to.
And you're also encouraged when we share the Google form to choose that as your session of interest. If you're presenting in a single session, we will also have a question about if you're presenting anything to make sure that we do our best that you are the STF member assigned to that session. We have another question by Sima. Do we have to wear the t-shirts? I mean, are we allowed to wear a blazer over it, for example? We've had plenty of questions about this last year. Unfortunately, you cannot wear anything over the STF shirt because that's how people recognize us around the conference. But you can wear a long sleeve shirt or whatever you want under the t-shirt. But but we cannot, because the t-shirts are very recognizable during the conference. We really think it's a bad idea to wear anything over the AMEE Student Task Force t-shirt, at least within the conference venue. For your question,
Okay.
Vatanak, we think.
Then we have.
Go ahead.
Yes, about the question that Vatanak submitted. I think that she can send this over to our email about the visa, and we can discuss it individually with her about that. So if you have any problems with the deadline of the 1st of July, just send this to our email so we can discuss each case individually and not from this webinar right now. So we'll move on to the next question from SCOMI Development Assistant. If someone will be covering for you when you're presenting your paper, don't worry about that, because each of you will be getting an individual program. You will tell us when you're presenting something. So if you won't have a task during that time, so you don't have to look for someone to cover for your shifts at that time. Any other question?
Is there anything in the comments or?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, not yet.
Either we were very clear or we lost everyone halfway. But I think in general.
No, I think we were clear.
Okay. And in general, if any of you have any questions or if something was not explained properly or if you get confused, you can always email us, or you can also use the Facebook group, for example. But if it's a question that is very personal about your visa or about your travel tickets, make sure to use the email thread that we opened for you.
Okay, we're
Katerina,
getting to
we have questions now.
Okay.
Hina, again, the deadline is July 1st. For the people that need visas, those are the people that we have sent the hostel confirmation and the invitation letter to. They have to send the visas and the proof of travel, flight ticket. For example, the other STF members that do not require visas, they still do have to provide proof of travel by July 1st. The deadline is July 1st, as we said in this presentation.
Okay, and then we have another question from Natasha. If there is a dedicated time for the tutoring groups to get together, Katerina, you can answer this.
Yes. Until the conference happens, each tutoring group will be supposed to hold a certain number of online meetings, but also either every day or day by day, we are going to have some time dedicated to the tutoring groups in the conference. And if not, we will also encourage tutors to and with all of you during the week in Vienna.
Sima is asking if she can get a copy of this PowerPoint.
Yes, we are going to send the slides to everyone at the end of the conference. At the end of the at the end of the webinar.
Okay, Stella has a question. She says,
yes.
Do you need a proof of travel email from us if we live in Vienna and are not traveling? Like, do we need an email for them just stating that they live in Vienna?
I think it's okay. You don't have to send us something.
Yes.
Yes, when it comes to the local STF, I think Dino has a good grasp of everyone that lives in Vienna, and we do not require proof of travel from you. But thank you for asking.
I think even if you're not living in Vienna and you are in the local student task force, we don't want a proof of travel. We can trust you that you will travel from somewhere else in Austria in Vienna. Yes, that was what I was thinking as well, Fabrizio. Send your public tickets.
Is Fabrizio leaving many comments in the chat?
Yes,
Not so
I
many.
see.
you can minimize the presentation now.
Um, the problem is that everyone is seeing my slides, so I don't know if I should
Okay,
go into
guys, this
it.
is this is the last call for questions. Do you still have any questions
Oop.
that we can answer?
Oh, I think people seem like they've got it.
Yes.
But I just want to say that you all look, we discussed it with the coordinators and we all agreed that you are a very fun and excited looking group of people and we're very happy to be working with you. So just keep your enthusiasm going and keep the chats that we have like Facebook and then the WhatsApp alive. Ours was for who's getting the punishment. We're still missing a lot of people. But yeah, let's see who the lucky person is going to be.
We are delivering on that. We're not gonna let it go.
Oh, no, no, no. Basil will think of something very interesting. Okay.
Okay, I think we can close this webinar now.
Yes. Any final words
Thank you
from
all for joining.
anyone? All right.
Okay, guys, again, you can reach us through email at any time or just post a question to the Facebook group or the WhatsApp groups that we are going to create very soon.
Thank you all for coming and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever of it you have left, wherever you are. And we'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.